Hey everyone, this is Luna from Luna Codex. In this video, I am going to walk you through each and every file of an AI resume analyzer that I have built from scratch. AI resume analyzer is so simple that you can upload your resume as PDF and paste a job description, and it would give you an ATS score, recommendations, and shows the matched and mismatched keywords, and it even rewrites your weak bullet points. The stacks used are React for Frontend, FastAPI for the Backend, and Google Gemini as a AI brain. No fluff in this video, we are going file by file, line by line. Let's get into it. Before we touch any part of the code, let me give you an overview of the architecture that is being used in the AI resume analyzer. The pipeline is as simple as that. The user uploads the PDF and pastes a job description in the browser and clicks the Analyze Resume button. The React frontend gets the data and sends this data as a post request to the backend at the /analyze endpoint. The backend extracts the text from the PDF using the pdfplumber and builds the prompt and sends it to the Gemini AI. Gemini returns a JSON object with a score, keyword, and bullet rewrites a standard structure. React receives this JSON and renders it in the dashboard. Now let's look at each piece. So this is the complete local setup of an AI resume analyzer. Here the front end runs in localhost 5173 and our backend runs in localhost 8000. In this series, I will be telling how our front end interacts with our backend. In backend, the main.py is the main front door of the backend web server that we have built. Here we are importing the .env, FastAPI, and the cars middleware and the custom two packages, AI service and the PDF extractor. Load.env is used to load the environmental variable where we are storing our secrets like Gemini API key. And FastAPI is the framework that we are using to build our web server. Here we are using the upload file to get the PDF and the form to get the job description as a string. And cause is used to make front-end interacts with the backend. By default, browser blocks the two browser interaction. We are enabling it using the cars middleware. And AI service is where our backend calls the Gemini AI, and PDF extractor is where the backend extracts the text from the PDF. Here we are loading our environmental variable and we are building our web server, and cars origin is allowed for our front end endpoint, that is for 5173, and health check endpoint is built when a user or a front end from front end, when we hit /health, it would return F status OK. This is to ensure whether the server is up or not. Here comes the /analyze post request. Here is where the actual process is taking place. The file, this is the variable that stores the PDF data, and job description is where it stores the job description string data. At first, we are checking whether the PDF uploaded is actually a PDF. The file uploaded is actually a PDF, and the job description is being sent or not. If it is not sent, then we would throw the 400 user fault error. Then comes that whether the uploaded file is empty or if it is greater than 5 MB. If it is greater than 5 MB and if it is empty, we are throwing in 400 error. Then we are extracting the data from the PDF using extract text from PDF function, that is in pdf extractor.py, and we are sending the file bytes, and that is the resume text and the job description into the AI service.py through analyze resume function, where the actual call to Gemini will happen. Once we get the response, we are binding it into the JSON and giving it as a response. If anything fails, then it would be cached in the try except, and if there are any API key failure or any failure from the backend side, it would throw an 500 error. To handle all the exception and do not crash the backend, we are ensuring to handle it in a try except. Let's dive deep into the pdf extractor.py now. When the main function calls the extract text from PDF, it comes here. Here we are using the pdfplumber to extract the text from the PDF, and it reads the raw bytes using the bytes IO since the file is from the browser. Now in this function, pdfplumber opens the file using the bytes IO and reads the data as a bytes and converts it into the text worded format. And if it doesn't have any pages, it would throw an error of PDF has no pages. If it contains the pages, it loops for each page and extracts the text and it append to the pages text. If the data is not available, it would be a scanned or image copy, so it would be throwing an error. For each pages text, it would be combining it using a double new line. Once it is done, it would send the combined data to the clean text. Here it would clean the extra line, extra spaces or any unwanted special characters, and it would be, this is just to clean the data to send it to the AI. And it would be sending the cleaned text back to the main file. If the data is less than 50 character, then it won't be a resume. So we would be requesting it to requesting the user to upload the text-based PDF instead of a scanned copy or something. Then once we get the resume text, it would call the analyze resume function, resume text and the job description. This comes here, AI service.py. With the resume text and the job description, it would check for if the job description is empty and throws an error if it is empty. And it would get the model here. The model that we have used is Gemini 2.5 Flash with the API key that we have given in the environmental file. And the prompt used is mentioned here. Here we are mentioning the Gemini AI that it is an ATS expert and the resume coach. It should analyze the resume against the job description that is given below, and it should return only a valid JSON object with the exact structure that we have mentioned here. And the rules are mentioned to get the exact data, whatever we need in the JSON. And resume text and the job descriptions are uploaded dynamically in the prompt. Now comes the response part. Here we use the created model and use the prompt and ask the model to generate and response. Here we are mentioning the temperature as 0.3 to make it more concise and give a direct response instead of giving an imaginative or the random responses. And the response type should be application.json. And if the response from the Gemini API is empty, we would throw an error. And also it passes the JSON response. Now in a pass JSON response, what it does is it decodes the JSON data that is binded in the markdown format. Once it decodes the data and gets the JSON format, it would check if it has all the object that is mentioned. If it doesn't have, it would throw an error. If it is invalid JSON, it would return it back to the main.py file. So this is how the backend is built, and flows so simple that when frontend hits /analyze, it would check whether the uploaded file and the job description is valid and not empty, and it would try to extract the text from the PDF over here. Here it would read the raw bytes and convert it into a combined cleaned text format and sends it back to the main file. Once we get the resume text, it would call the analyze resume. It would come here, AI service.py. Here it would create a model and creates a prompt and generate the response and decode the response, and it would validate the response and sends back to the main.py. Here it would return it back in the JSON format with the success to the frontend. Now the frontend. The frontend is running in port 5173 as I mentioned earlier. We have chosen React for the frontend, which is component based. As you could see here the resume upload and the ScoreCircle and everything, that is the keyword chips and bullet point improvements, everything is in separate component. If you want to make any change to the upload resume component, you can go to the resume upload.jsx file and you can make change. That's why it is more easier and comfortable to use React. If you want to make any changes, you can go to one particular file and make change. Let's go to the index.html first. Here, if you could see, you have an ID root. This is the div element where entire app is being rendered. If you could see the main.jsx, this is where the flow begins. Here, we have got the element by ID root and the entire app is rendered here. For the particular app, what it does and how to view it, everything is written in app.jsx. This is the brain of the front end. Here, if you could see, it holds all the state and the user flow. The state is nothing but whenever the data changes for the state, it re-renders the page automatically. Here, file, job description, loading, error, and results are the use states that we have defined. File is used to store the PDF. If it doesn't have the data, it used to be null. And job description for the string, and loading is set to true when we hit the analyze resume button, when the loading screen is visible. And error is set to empty string at first. When if any error comes, it would get that error and stores it here, and it would re-render the page. Result is set when we get the response from the backend. So now let me take you to the HTML that is being rendered here. The header tag completely shows you the AI resume analyzer and powered by Gemini. Things that we have shown here. If you could see here, this is being shown given in the header tab. After that, we have that upload resume component, which is a resume upload component. If you could see here, let me explain the components later. And the next one is the job description text area. If you could see here, this is the upload resume component and this is the job description text area. After that comes that hit analyze button. When you hit the analyze resume button, it would execute the handleAnalyze function. In that function, first error is set to the empty string and the result is set to null. And if the file is not there, it would throw an error of please upload your resume PDF. If the job description is empty, it would ask you to paste the job description. Once the button is hit, it would set the loading to true so that the loading screen would be visible, and it would disable the description and the upload resume component. The response, it would call the analyze resume file, which is given in the api.js. It will act as a middleware between the front end and the backend, from where the front end interacts with the backend. Let us view that. In analyze resume button, FormData is used to store the file and the job description and send the post request. The key should be the same as what the backend expects. The post request is sent to the analyze endpoint. The API URL is the backend URL. Here in local, we would be pointing to the 8000. Once all the payload is set, the request would be made, and if it returns the JSON, it would fetch it and process it and sends the JSON to the and sets it to the result. Else, it would throw an error here. Now, once we get a response, after the handleAnalyze, once we get a response, we would be showing it in the result dashboard. If it is errored, we would be showing the error. This is how it works in a main page. Now let me explain each component separately. First, I will start with the result upload. Here, drag over state is used to check whether the file is dragged and dropped in the particular component. And next comes the result dashboard. This is just a container. It would render the result into each of the components: ScoreCircle, keyword chips, and the bullet comparison. ScoreCircle is nothing but the progress circle built using the SVG, and colors are set based on the score percentage. And then comes the keyword chips. This is nothing but a build that is just a span element within a div. Here, if it is matched, it would be set to green, else it would be set to red for the unmatched keywords. And bullet comparison is a paragraph tag inside the div element for each pair in the pairs. It would show the weak in the left and the improved in the right. These are all the components that is being used in the front end. Let's do one final walkthrough of the full request lifecycle so it really sticks. You select a PDF and paste a job description and you click the Analyze button. It goes straightly here. React validates the input and sets the loading to true and calls the api.js. api.js wraps everything in a FormData and fires the post request to /analyze on the backend. In backend, main.py receives it, validates the file type and size and reads the bytes. PDF extractor.py converts those bytes into a clean plain text. And AI service.py builds the prompt, sends it to Gemini, gets the JSON back, validates it and returns a Python dictionary. And again comes the main.py, wraps that in the success response and sends it to the browser. React gets the response and stores it in the state. Loading goes false and result dashboard renders everything. That's the whole app. Every single file has a one job. Clean separation, no fluff. If you would like to extend this project, go ahead and feel free to make changes. For example, you can make changes to accept the image kind of resume and make it process in the backend and show the result analysis. And that's it for this video. If this helped you understand the full stack apps, drop a like, it really helps. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I read all of them. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.